Hi, this is Johnny from Unleashed. You're listening to What's Metal Show.
Great. Nice to have you here, and we are sitting on the Hot Heat Wacken Open Air Festival, and you just played a gig with Unleashed, with your band, and maybe you tell our listeners a little bit of the fan reaction. How many new songs did you play, and your overall feeling?
Yeah, I think it was great. I mean, we played just one new song, but the album has only been out for 2 weeks, so. And I could tell it was hot out there. I mean, not only the band was really warm, but the crowd was really really hot. But it was good. I mean, it was a good response, and people seemed to like our show. So I'm very happy with it, definitely. Yeah, definitely.
So tell us a little bit of your new album. It's called Swan Legions, and maybe you tell our listeners why they should buy it.
Oh, I think they should buy it because it's hopefully when we recorded it, we said, well, let's make our best album so far, and if people want to have a very strong death metal record with very strong, memorable songs, I think it's the album to get. If you get a new Unleashed record, you know you're not just gonna get a riff collection. You're gonna get very solid and strong songs. So I think that's one very good reason. It's Unleashed has also been around for 15 years. When we make a new record, we always make it in a way that we for our fans that also have been with us for so many years. We try and give them something that we know that they want to have. We're not just doing this, putting out new records to try and make a couple of bucks. It doesn't work that way. So they can rest assured that it's a very faithful record. It's not just a bunch of songs. I mean, we've been working very, very hard with this new record.
Yeah, talking about the songwriting, was there something different compared to the recording sessions or rehearsing for the other albums? Was there something new, something special?
I think the main difference between this record and the previous one, Hell's Unleashed, is basically the production. We've been putting a lot of time and energy to make the new production better. We wanted to have an overall production that kind of is a little nastier than what we normally do, and we want to just bring it up a level. I mean, it's a kind of cliche to say, but I think we've gotten a little bit better since the last one. Fredrik has an own studio these days, and he's become a better production engineer as well. And I think you can tell on the record that the production is just a little harder. It's nastier and it sticks out a little bit more. I think that's the main difference that what happened in the last 2 years.
If the people listen to Unleashed or buy the record, they can be sure that this is 100% Unleashed. Yeah, the ingredients are well known, and you always retain the ingredients. Can you imagine to do something like something with keyboards or samples, or would that not fit to Unleashed music?
No, not at all. What we do is what we agreed back in 1989. The band is 15 years of age for a good reason. One, we have very faithful fans. Two, the band is dedicated to what we do. We have no disagreements. We set up the standards back in '89 and said, well, as long as Unleashed is alive, it's gonna be straightforward death metal that people can listen to, and we will play for people, not for musicians. It's easy to pull out some extreme technical stuff, but we want to play songs that people can remember and they can relate to and that they think is entertaining. So yeah, you're right. I mean, it's very easy. If you go out and buy a new record from Unleashed, you know it's going to sound like Unleashed. There's no way it's going to sound that it's going to be a number of samples or keyboards or female vocalists or whatever. There's nothing wrong with that, but that's not going to be in Unleashed.
Yeah, and the other way around would be the question if you ever fear that you have a lack of ideas, because it's always the same ingredients. Where do you get your inspiration after so long time? Well,
you see, it's actually the other way around. We have too many ideas. I think death metal is just as vast as life and death itself. There is no limits. You have, well, see, there are limits in a way because it's got to be horror music. Yeah, it's got to be horror music. If it's not horror, there's no death metal. So yeah, horror-like riffing. You got the aggression, you got the darkness, you got the forward, you got the strong impact and the speed and the mid-paced slow songs and whatever, but there's so much to explore. There's so much to do. So lack of inspiration, no, never. I mean, we have, before a new record, before Sworn Allegiance, we had 30 or 40 songs, and we had to pick the 14 best ones. So there's, right now we're working on the next record. We have songs from the next record right now. So there's definitely no lack of inspiration. Like I said, I think life is so vast. I don't see how that ever could end. I mean, the only end to the band would be that people don't want to buy the record anymore for some reason. If our fans don't like what we do, then yeah, that's the only way it could stop, I guess.
One last question. What standpoint does it have for you to play live, and what does it mean for the band, for Unleashed?
Oh, it's everything. I mean, being in the studio is nice, but there's no payoff being in the studio, none whatsoever. You get, I guess you get a good feeling if you've done a good record, and you could say, yeah, this sounds good. But that's the 4 guys in the band who says, yeah, it sounds good. We don't know if it does. We got to ask somebody. Somebody's got to tell us if it sounds good. So playing live and be out and meet people, that's the only way to know if the record's actually good. That's the only way. So that's everything. Playing live is what I look forward to when I'm home in Sweden, and then that's what we're planning for every time. That's what we talk about week after week, when the next show is going to be, and.
What do you prefer? A club show where it's more intimate, or a festival show where you can reach more people, maybe?
I don't know if I could make a priority. I think I think festivals are cool in a way that like you said, you can play for more people, and some people have their first introduction to the band. They maybe have not even listened to death metal before, and so it's a good promotional thing. But it's also a cool thing because at festivals you meet a lot of people that both bands and journalists and fans that you don't meet if you just play a club show, because that's just your fans. That's nobody else there. We're gonna make a headlining tour in late November, early December, and it's gonna be us and probably 1 or 2 bands more. But it's a limited thing because you don't meet, like, I'm not gonna meet Cannibal Corpse there, So it's and we're not gonna meet the guys from Amon Amarth, for example. We met them yesterday, and so that's the good thing with festivals. I think you get to meet a lot of. It's kind of it's a gathering, I would say, which is nice. But the drawback is, like today, we had huge problems with our monitors. Basically, there's nothing wrong with the crew, but the problem is that when you don't have a sound check, and the drummer, for example, right now, he had terrible problems with his monitors. So you got to do some mistakes. Normally, if you play on a tour, you don't really make any playing mistakes because you had a decent sound check. But that's the same for every band, and it's just the name of the game at a festival. So I kind of like them both, though. I mean, it's I don't like to choose.
So if you could choose your support slot, who would you choose to support you on tour, on headliner tour?
Actually, I'm not gonna say anything because I don't really know if it's done yet. So, but what it is, right?
What type of band, what type of music? A contrast or something that fits to the Unleashed sound?
Yeah, I think it's gonna be a death metal band or maybe a black metal band. I'm not sure. See, what it is right now is that our agency Nick Peel is working on the tour right now, and he told me that I can't say anything right now because he's booking it right now. So I think there's like 1 show in Holland that is confirmed, and he's working on Germany right now. So I guess in a couple of weeks, maybe 1 or 2 weeks, it's probably over.
I just wanted to know what do you think would fit to an Unleashed? Something that speedier or slower or?
Oh, I think anything that's either black metal, death metal, thrash metal, anything that's good and strong and not really. I mean, I wouldn't want to bring on something that is popish, but it's got to be a rough band, of course. Yeah, thrash, speed, black metal, death metal, something like that. Yeah.
Yeah, reaching the end, our show is called What's Metal. So we ask everyone what's metal for you? Music, lifestyle, maybe more?
Oh, I think metal is a way of life. That's what's metal for me, definitely. I mean, I was born and raised metal, so that's metal right there. Definitely, that's what it is. I wouldn't be here if it wasn't.
What was the first contact with metal or rock or?
Well, my first contact with rock music has got to be Elvis Presley when I was very, very young. But but when I got my first record, I guess, would be, what the hell was that? Motorhead, yeah. Motorhead was my first record. I think I bought the first Iron Fist or Ace of Spades. I'm not sure which one it was. That's got to be the first one, yeah. Yeah, and I was sold. That's it right there. Yeah, definitely. Or that or an AC/DC record. I mean, I've got all of them, so I got, it must have been one of them at least, long ago.
So your last words to our listeners, your fans?
Well, definitely. Thanks a lot for the support, and check out our new record, Sworn Allegiance. It's out on Century Media Records, and thank you very much for this interview.
Thank you.
It was really good talking to you.